Okay, this is going to be a little tutorial about how to change oil in your vehicle. In this case, I'm going to be using changing the oil on my Jeep. This is a 2006 Jeep Liberty Renegade, and this is the first time I'm changing the oil on this Jeep. I just bought it about a month ago, used, and my other vehicle has a head leak, so it needs an engine replaced, so I needed something new, so I grabbed a Jeep. And so I've given a quick look at the scenario here, and it's for as far as oil changes go, this is going to be a pretty tough one. So it'll be a good example to use as a tutorial, because chances are any other vehicle that you're changing the oil on, any other consumer type vehicle, cars and small trucks, should be much easier than this. But anyway, so the equipment that you need to change the oil. Up front you need an oil pan or bucket, something to catch the old oil in. This doesn't have to be clean, because you're just going to be putting the old oil in it. It's not going to have any of the new stuff. You need a funnel. This funnel should be clean. You don't necessarily absolutely need the funnel, but I like using the funnel to put oil in the top, and then pretty much need the funnel to get the oil out of my drip pan and into a container to bring to recycling. There are drip pans you can buy that have a lid on them, and that have basically a funnel built into the side of them that you can use, and makes things a little easier. This is just the basic setup. So get your funnel, get your drip pan, get a wrench for oil filters, filter wrench, and sometimes some vehicles, these filter wrenches work really good. On other ones, you find that you have to really just use your hands and some forearm strength. I'll show you the scenario on this Jeep pretty quick here, but this filter wrench may or may not work for me today. The nice thing about this one is the handle turns, so you can usually get this one into some pretty tight spaces, which is exactly the scenario that we're looking at today. Usually you're going to need some kind of light, some kind of lantern or flashlight, something to look at what you're doing, and you're probably going to need well, those are the basic things you gotta have beforehand. So if you don't have those, you got to invest in those, and those things you keep, you know, forever. Then the kind of the temporary stuff. Oh, and also beforehand, you're going to need sockets, wrenches. It doesn't have to be an expensive set or whatever. It's a real cheapo socket set, and just so that you can get the main bolt off of the pan underneath your vehicle to let the old oil drop out. So you need some kind of sockets or wrenches to do that part. So that's your big, you know, investment setup. So altogether, I would say, you know, the maximum you're going to have to spend to get yourself set up with the minimum you're going to have to spend to get yourself set up with all the basics that you're going to require just to do the job is $25, and those basics, you know, you can hang on to and use again and again and again, so you don't have to buy them again. What you do have to buy every time is you have to buy the new oil. So new oil, 5 liters of new oil usually runs between $15 and $20 here, and then you have to buy an oil filter, which can run like $7 to $10 or whatever. So for me, my purchase today of the oil filter and I'll show you the filter, the oil filter and the new oil. This costs, these two things together cost 23 bucks, and that's a whole heck of a lot cheaper than the $75 to $100 that I would pay to go to one of those places, either a mechanic shop or one of those quickie fluids changing places, and have the stuff changed out for me, have the oil changed for me. You're basically paying somebody, you know, an extra 50 to 75 bucks for what's pretty much unskilled labor to change out your oil rather quickly. So anyway, you're gonna need to buy these every time, brand new. 23 bucks is what it costs me, and you gotta change it every, well, I change my oil on my vehicles every 5,000 kilometers. Miles, I guess it might be like 3,000 or something miles. And if you use synthetic, you might be able to make it last a little longer even. So, and then of course you're gonna need something to wipe up, because no matter what, when you're changing oil, there's gonna always be some messy aspect to it. I just have paper towels, but you know, preferably you use some old cotton rags or something like that. I only have paper towels at the moment, so that's what I'm gonna have to settle for. So alright, so I'm gonna show you the situation that we're dealing with, so you can appreciate the scenario. Alright, so here, normally you're able to access right from the top, going down the side of the engine, you're able to access your oil filter. Pull off the old one, put in a new one. But as it turns out, in these Jeeps, that oil filter, I don't even know if we can see it from here. I don't think so. It's way down there. Like, it's crazy hidden deep down in there, and to where got to get at it basically from the bottom. So I'll show you that. We're looking at the bottom. Normally it's not going to be this tough to get at the oil filter. Shouldn't be that tough. Yeah, there it is. It's right there. So got to get at from underneath, and in this tight little nook, got to get up in there and around the bend, and there's the oil filter. So that's gonna be the tough part, is getting that oil filter off. All right, and then the other part, the part we're gonna actually begin with here, is just getting the old oil bled out of there, and that's relatively easy. You just come from the side here and see that right there, you can see a bolt right there. That's a bolt we're going to take off. All the old oil is going to drip out of there. That won't be too tough. So I'm going to get myself situated here, and I'll get the camera back on. We'll get started. Alright, now to change the oil. So we're going to go step by step. Step one, what I like to do is find the oil cap where you're going to be putting your oil after your new oil, where you poured it in. Open up the oil cap. Mine looks like shit. I actually went in and this was very tough. This is my second shot on this. When I went to unscrew this, it was just like locked down so hard, and now I can see that there's all kinds of gunky stuff on there. Probably going to wipe some of that off before I put in my new oil. But anyway, so I do that just to create that that vacuum for when I open the bottom. You don't have to do this, open up the oil cap first, but I like to do that. So the next step, we are going to drain the old oil out, right? So I'll get this set up so you can watch that happen. So this is the undercarriage, and in the top here you can see top a little bit to the left. You can see, well, you'll see it when I get in there and undo the bolt. But alright, hopefully you can still see that. So you want to put your drip pan in there underneath the bolt. It's going to catch the oil. And I checked the size of this bolt. It's 13 millimeters. Might be different in your vehicle, but should always be under here somewhere. Should be the reservoir with the oil, and there should be a bolt. You just find that bolt. Should look obvious on every vehicle. So this is really stuck. I was trying it earlier, it's really stuck, so I'm going to use a technique to see if it works. May or may not, which is to use a rubber mallet. See if I can loosen it up at all. It'd help if I actually hit the target. Yeah! Pulling on it. That thing does not want to turn. So, try to if you have something like WD-40, this would be the scenario where you want to use that stuff, and maybe it loosens it up a bit like that. I'm going to try to find some. I think I got some here. Yes, like I was saying before, this is a perfect tutorial because this is really hard, and I wasn't expecting to even find like bolts and stuff that won't come loose, but better to show you the really difficult version of something, and then your vehicle should be way easier. But if a regular Joe, and I'm not really mechanically inclined at all, if a regular Joe can get in and take care of something like this himself, something this difficult, most vehicles shouldn't be a problem. You know, normally you don't have a plate like this blocking off your access. It's another really nice
design element the Jeep added to this. Put a plate right in the way. Oh, I think we've broken through. Yeah, so worst case scenario, nothing that a rubber mallet and WD-40 can't fix. And so, you know, once you got it started, you should be able to hand turn it out. If you lose the bolt, like it drops into the drip pan, that's okay, because you'll be able to find it in the drip pan. So take the bolt all the way out. There we go. Now you see the oil's draining. So it's a little bit messy. I got the bolt here. My hand's got a little bit of oil on it. That's okay. That's what the paper towels are for. And I'm going to want to take this bolt out and clean it up with the paper towels as well. So, but right now, this is gonna just gonna let this all drain right out, all this old oil, get the heck out of there. And you can see it's, well, maybe you can see, maybe you can't, but it's pretty dark. I can tell from here it's pretty dark. It's definitely in need of oil change. Yeah, so let that drain out.
Alright, so I've got my bolt here, cleaned it off. I'm going to need to put that somewhere where I'm not going to lose it, and it's going to be needed pretty quick again. But for right now, I just put it off to the side. And now is the tough part for me. I gotta get in there and get that old oil filter off from up in that cranny that I was showing you before. So there's gonna be no way for me to really film it up inside there, because the quarters are just so close that I can either get a camera in there or I can get my hand in there. So one of the two. I'm gonna try to get the wrench in there. Because if the oil filter is anything like the oil cap was, or like the bolt on the oil reservoir was, this is going to be a tough job. So I'm going to get in there and see if I can get it done. Pretty tough to even, you got, even me, I got pretty skinny arms. I can't even get my hand up there well enough, but this just happens that this wrench just doing the trick, just barely doing the trick. It is coming. Oh yeah,
Not getting it. Oh shit. Got a little bit of oil dropping out there, which I kind of expected. I should have been looking for that. Makes sense now why that hole is there. Anyway, oh. All right. Yeah, so here is the old oil filter, and you want to make sure this rubber ring on the filter is on there, because sometimes you'll take them off and there'll be that rubber ring will remain stuck up there to the engine, and that's no good. So you got to make sure that rubber ring comes off with the old filter. And this old filter, I'm going to right now I'm just going to put it in the drip pan. Maybe I'll just set it off to the side with a paper towel under the bottom. So don't make it any more messy than it already is. And it's already pretty messy. Alright, so now we're getting somewhere. So, wipe my hands again. So next step is going to be put the new filter in there. Hopefully I got the right one. See the old filter, new filter. So yeah, they look pretty good. And what's suggested is that you put some oil, a little bit of oil on the rubber ring. So I'm just going to take some of that greasy oil from the old one. Could have used the new oil, but it's kind of a pain to try to get it out of a big bottle like this. So just to get it a little bit lubed around that ring. That's all you need. It's not a big deal. Not really contaminating anything from using just a little touch of that old oil on there. That'll make for a nice seal on the engine. So now I'm going to stick this back on where I took off the old one. I'm going to take a paper towel down there with me and look at the connection down there. Make sure the connection's all clean that I'm screwing it onto. So, and it does just screw on. It just has a this is kind of a nut unto itself. Yeah, it's going on now.
Nothing, I just want to see what you're doing.
No, I'm talking to the camera.
Oh.
Alright, I've got it on about as well as I can for hand tightening. Now I'm going to get the wrench in there to see if I can just get it just a little bit tighter. The wrench. I don't want to tighten too much because I have to go through this whole thing again when next time I need to change the oil. But I do got to make sure that
tight enough that it's not going to leak oil. All right, now I'll show you it in there. All right, so here we got the little nook. Go over the nook. There it is. It's the new oil filter on the engine. Oh, so that's about the hardest one I've ever encountered. So shouldn't ever really be like that. But apparently in the Jeeps it is. All right. Back here. Now we got to put the all right. All right, now we just got to quickly go in and put that bolt back in its place up here. This should not be a problem. Put the bolt in, use your ratchet to tighten it, but do not over tighten this bolt. There, tight. All right, so now we're on to the last part of the mission here. So I'm gonna quickly clean this gunk off of this area, the oil cap area, and then we will be putting the oil in, the new oil in. So let's see, I'll lock this on here. There we go, something like this, eh? That's a pretty decent angle, I think. Oh wait, down just a little bit. Here we go. All right, so I'll clean up this gunk. I don't know why it's all gunky and like orange and crap like that. It really shouldn't be like that, but I don't know, gotta get familiar with this vehicle here and try to get the gunky crap out of this one too, hey? Look at that. Not really sure what this little doodad is. I've never encountered one before. A lot of atypical features on the oil job for the Jeep. So a lot of stuff that you shouldn't have to worry about. I'm telling you, if you're doing your own oil, you should have a wicked more easy time than I am today. All right. That's some pretty nasty. All right. So now, get my funnel. Again, you want to make sure that funnel was nice and cleaned out before, and got the oil. Most vehicles will go use a 10 weight 30 or 5 weight 30, and I like to use just a standard oil, maybe a little bit of synthetic additives, but not all synthetic. So I put in a good portion of this bottle before I check the level, see if it'll take the rest of the 5 liters. Usually, my past vehicles usually takes the whole 5 liters. Alright, so you should have a dipstick somewhere in your engine compartment here that says engine oil. For me, it's this dipstick right here, and I wipe it off. Take it out, wipe it off clean. Most people know how to do this part at the very least. Put it back in, pull it out, check it. Level is not quite there yet. So yeah, it's gonna take the rest of the bottle for sure. Now you don't want to overfill. That's why you do a pour some and then check it out before you go the whole bottle, because sometimes it won't take the whole bottle. But I'll check it one more time before I put in the very last little bit there. Oh yeah, see? I'm full, right, pretty much right on the mark. Maybe just a little tad more. See what I've got in here. No, I think I've got too much oil in this bottle. Let's see. Yeah, that's full. I can't put any more in. So, take the funnel out. Turn this little doohickey down in there. Place the oil cap. Yeah, this is a really tight little bitch of an oil cap. Anyway, that's it. My oil is replaced. I've saved 50 to 75 bucks. It was about the toughest oil replacement I've ever done, but it's done, and yeah, I feel fine by it. And I would another thing they normally check when you go do it at a shop. A lot of times they'll check your air filter, so we could see if that's easy and quick to do here as well. Oh yeah. Here's the air filter, and it's not looking terrible, it's not looking great. And actually I think next time I change my oil, I'll definitely replace the air filter too, so I'll buy one of these as well. Replace that, but I didn't buy one today, and I think it'll survive without it for my next 5,000 kilometers, because I go 5,000 kilometers in a month usually. Pretty easy, maybe 6 weeks. So that's how to change your air filter. You just look for this big tube thing in the box that goes into. Open it up. There usually just be some little clippy things on there, and check your air filter. Should look nice and white. Might probably be a little bit dusty. When it gets, you know, dirty looking, you want to change it out. So piece of cake. Of course, you can always check your other fluids. You got other dipsticks around in here. You can make sure that you're topped up for window washer fluid, which is, looks like here. This might be radiator stuff here. Oh, yeah, this is coolant. So I can see that I stood up quite a bit. It's full. It's full. So that's good. What else can we check in here? Washer fluid. Here's my washer fluid. Oh, that's where I would put it. Right down in here. Goes into a tank that's really far down there, so I can't even check really. Doesn't look like to see what the level of my washer fluid is at. Pretty much I just know probably when the vehicle tells me I'm running low on washer fluid, then I'll know. If I buy some, put it in here. It's got the little window washer thing icon on it. And yeah, so my coolant is full, my oil is changed, windshield washer fluid alert system hasn't gone on yet. Everything's looking good. Air filter's looking like it'll last, you know, another one of my 5,000 clicks. And check the belt while you're in here. Might as well give this belt a look. Make sure timing belt and everything's looking good. Yeah, everything's looking pretty nice. So that's it. That's your real basic fluid level maintenance. And if I get to having to do a tune-up at some point, change tires or something like that, I'll show you that.